Hello and welcome to Warmy.io. I am Lucas, a product and deliverability expert. Warmy is built to help you improve deliverability and keep your email channel reliable. In the next few minutes, I'll give you a complete tour through the platform, showing you what every single section does and where to find each feature. So let's get started. Warmy's goal is simple: help you send with confidence by improving and protecting deliverability. So let's start with the first step: connecting your email account. After creating your Warmy.io account and logging in, you'll land on the home page. From here, you can see a menu on the left side. Click the Add Mailbox button right here. You'll be taken to the connection page, where you can choose your email provider from the list. You'll find the most common providers here. And Warmy supports a wide range of ESPs and mailbox setups. If you don't see yours, or you're just not sure which option to pick, just message your team and we'll guide you. Now, once your mailbox is connected, click Mailboxes. Again, in the menu on the left. This is where you can see all the connected mailboxes in one place. If you manage multiple clients or multiple inboxes, you can group everything by name or company, so the workspace stays clean and easy to navigate. You can also create bulk connections by clicking the Contacts menu right here. From there, you can connect Google Workspace mailboxes by clicking the New Workspace button, using admin delegation, or import email addresses via CSV upload. Now that your mailbox is connected, you'll be able to manage everything from the menu on the left, including your dashboard, domains, email templates, and much more. We'll be going through each one of these items. Let's quickly look at domains in the left menu. This page gives you a simple, high-level view of every single domain you're tracking in Warmy.io. You see a table with your domain name, health score, and quick indicators like Google Postmaster, connection status, spam rate, DNS records validity, and your overall deliverability. You also see how many mailboxes are connected to each domain. At the top, you can use search to find a domain fast, and you can even customize what you see using the columns dropdown. Think of domains as your at-a-glance control panel. If you manage multiple domains, this is the fastest way to spot which one needs more attention before you dive deeper into the dashboard. Talking about control panel, let's get familiar with the dashboard, because this is the central place to monitor deliverability signals and domain health. On the left menu, click Dashboard. At the top, you can select the domain you want to review from this dropdown. Everything you see here is centered around the domain you chose. Right below the domain selector, you see a set of tabs. Start with Overview. You see a domain health score, plus summary panels for mailboxes, inbox placement, DNS records, and the Google Postmaster metrics. The goal is to give you a fast, high-level snapshot of what's working and what needs attention for this domain. Next, notice Mailboxes in the dashboard tabs. This list shows the mailboxes connected under the selected domain, and you can click into each mailbox to open its details. One important note: the mailboxes list here is domain focused and more lightweight. If you want more admin level organization features like grouping mailboxes, you have to use Mailboxes from the left menu. Both paths ultimately take you to the same place, which is the mailbox details page. Now let's look at the inbox placement test. This is where you can review inbox placement across providers and track exactly where messages land. It's designed to help you validate how this domain performs across major inbox providers. Then you have DNS records, which is where you confirm authentication status. This is the section where you check SPF, DMARC, and DKIM records and make sure everything shows up as valid for the selected domain. Now let's go deeper in one of the most important tabs here: Google Postmaster metrics. Google Postmaster is Google's own reporting tool, and so the data you see here comes directly from Google. These are the signals the same Google uses to evaluate your sending. But keep in mind that Postmaster only shows consistent data once you're sending enough volume for Google to generate it. Now inside this tab, you see three views: domain reputation, IP reputation, and spam rate. And you can use the time filter on the right, like month, to change the time frame. In domain reputation, you can track how Google ranks your domain over time. In IP reputation, you can track the same reputation signal for your sending IP when an IP is connected. And in spam rate, you can see your spam complaint rate over time. This spam rate view is especially important. A common rule of thumb is a 0.3% threshold. If your spam rate rises above 0.3% in Postmaster, Gmail can start identifying your emails as high risk, and you are much more likely to see your emails routed to spam. So this is a metric you want to monitor closely, especially during higher scale-ups or new campaigns. The reason Postmaster matters inside of Warmy is that it gives you the Google's view of your sending. and Warmy brings it to the same place, where you're also monitoring DNS authentication, inbox placement tests, warm-up performance, alerts, and template performance. That combined view helps you understand cause and effect faster. For example, you can correlate change in reputation or spam rate with a shift in placement, DNS issue, or template behavior. Now, two more tabs we gotta mention because they're visible here and they're both really important. Assign templates and alerts. In Assign templates, you can view and assign templates for the selected domain directly from the dashboard. Think of this as a domain level shortcut. You can quickly pick up a template and apply it to this domain without leaving the dashboard. You also find templates in the left menu, under Templates, where you get into the full account-wide control to create and manage templates and assign it across any domain. And in Alerts, you can view any alerts related to the selected domain. If you want to control what alerts you receive, you use Notifications Hub under Insights and Tools in the left menu. That's where you configure notification rules account-wide. Also, up in the top bar, you notice the bell icon. This is a quick access notification center, so you can view notifications in a drop-down without leaving the page. You also see shortcuts like What's New, API, and See Plans, so you can check updates, access API options, or just manage your plan quickly. Finally, back in the dashboard page, if you scroll down, you'll see warm-up performance, which gives you a summary view of warm-up and deliverability trends over time for the selected domain. On the left menu, click Mailboxes, and then select the mailbox you want to configure. No matter whether you open a mailbox from the Dashboard tab or from the left menu, you'll end up in the same page, Mailbox Details. At the top, you see exactly which mailbox you're working on. Now click Settings. This is where you control what we call mailbox temperature, meaning how quickly Warmy ramps up your sending volume during the warm-up process. At the top, you see the speed selector, so you can choose a faster or slower ramp-up, depending on your timeline and your risk tolerance. If you're preparing for something time-sensitive, like a campaign date that's coming soon, you might choose a faster warm-up to reach higher volume quicker. Just keep in mind that faster ramp-ups can increase risk. So, in most cases, we recommend starting slow and gradually increase speed as your send reputation increases. Now close Settings, and you see right next to it the warm-up preferences with a setup button. This is different from mailbox temperature. Warm-up preferences is where you control your provider distribution, meaning which email provider you want Warmy to prioritize during warm-up. For example, if your real outreach will mostly target Gmail users, you might as well set a higher percentage for Gmail. In this example, we have 50% Gmail and 15% Outlook, while the rest is left available for Warmy to auto-distribute through the remaining providers. You do not need to configure anything here. If you leave it as default, Warmy will automatically distribute warm-up activity in a balanced way. But if you already know your target audience or the provider mix you want for a specific campaign, you can manually set it, even 100% for only one provider. One important detail: these warm-up settings can exist at different levels. You can have an account-wide default that applies to all mailboxes, but here on the Mailbox Details page, you are configuring settings for this specific mailbox, and I mean only this mailbox. Mailbox level settings take priority. So if there's an account-wide default, like 75% Gmail, but for this specific mailbox, you set it 100% Outlook, then this mailbox will follow the mailbox level rule. If you do not set anything at the mailbox level, then the account-wide default will apply. And if there's no account-wide default set either, Warmy will use the platform default behavior. Back on the Mailbox Details page, across the top, you see warm-up language, warm-up topic, and subscriptions. Start with warm-up language. Choose the language you actually use in your outreach. This matters because the warm-up interactions should feel natural and match the language your real emails are written in. Next is warm-up topic. Pick the topic that fits your industry, so the warm-up emails and interactions stay relevant. If you don't see a topic that matches your niche, use the request option, and our team can add it for you. Then you see subscriptions, which shows the current plan level for this mailbox. Now let's look at the performance panels on this mailbox page. Here you can see quick stats, and you also see mailbox temperature, which reflects your current warm-up activity level. Below that, you'll find the main performance chart. Next, scroll down to the email deliverability test section. This is where you can actively test inbox placement and track results over time. Now just below you see weekly auto test, which allows you to automatically run tests on a schedule. In the results area, you see details like test date, the target audience, and the email template used for the test. Then you see your overall score and a breakdown of placement, like inbox, promotions, or spam. Further down, there's also a provider by provider placement breakdown, so you can see performance across Gmail, Google Workspace, Outlook, and other providers connected to your setup. And finally, at the bottom, you find previous results, where you can review historical tests and track progress over time. Now let's go to templates, because this is where you add the exact emails you plan to send to your prospects, and it plays a direct role in your deliverability. Inbox providers don't just evaluate your IP or domain reputation, they also evaluate your content patterns, meaning spam filters can rank your deliverability by the template itself. On the left menu, click Templates. You'll notice there are two subpages here, List and Performance. We'll start with List, because this is where you create, manage, and assign templates. On the Templates List page, you see controls like Add New Template. Below that, you can search templates by using the search bar, and filter what you see by domain, group, mailbox, and template type. The template type filter is important because it allows you to separate templates that are plain text, HTML, or HubSpot templates. Now let's create one. Click Add New Template and choose the format you want. Inside the editor, you see formatting tools and options like personalization and spin text, which help you add dynamic variables and variation to your copy. On the right side, you also see Warmy's built-in template checker, which helps you evaluate how safe your template is before you ever even send it. You can click Check Template to run a check. This is especially useful because, again, spam filters can evaluate deliverability based on the template itself, not just your sending reputation. Now, here's where templates connect directly to warm-up. Once your template is added and assigned, Warmy will use it as a part of the warm-up process. Typically, around 30 to 40% of warm-up activity will be drawn from your templates. The goal is to generate realistic engagement around the content you actually plan to send. This shows spam filters that your emails are wanted and relevant, and it helps build reputation not only for the mailbox, but also for the template content itself. Once your templates are in place, go to the second subpage, Templates Performance. This page is where you track how your templates perform over time. This helps you understand whether a specific template is performing well and how results vary across different mailbox providers. And one more bonus. In addition to the in-platform template checker you're seeing here, Warmy also offers a free browser extension for template checking. It gives you the same kind of feedback, but directly inside your email provider while you're writing in real time. So if you're drafting an email in Gmail, for example, you can check how spammy it looks, even before you bring it to Warmy. Now that your templates are added, checked, and assigned, Warmy can warm up not only your mailbox reputation, but also your real sending content, which is a huge part of long-term inbox placement. Next, let's look at seed lists, which is one of the Warmy's most powerful deliverability tools and a major way to level up your warm-up. Now click seed list in the left menu. At the top of this page, you'll see tabs for different providers like Gmail, Premium Gmail, Google Workspace, Outlook, and Yahoo. This is where you choose what type of seed accounts you want your warm-up to interact with. Before we go deeper, notice the banner at the very top, mentioning warm-up with clicks. That is a feature being rolled out, and we'll come back to it in a moment, because it's directly related to seed lists. Right below, there is an important rule. Send only one email per seed list contact per day. Sending more than that can trigger spam filters and distort deliverability results. Now, what is a seed list in Warmy? A seed list is a curated list of email addresses, called seeds, that you use as warm-up targets. The key difference between seed list warm-up and regular warm-up is control and consistency. With regular warm-up, interactions can happen across a wide mix of inboxes, and some can be new, low activity, or even unpredictable. With a seed list, you are interacting with inboxes that are established, active, and managed, specifically for this purpose. Warmy also runs deeper engagement behavior when using seed lists. It is not just opening an email. It can simulate realistic actions, like scrolling through the content, clicking links, and actually spending time interacting with the message. Those deeper interactions can make a noticeable difference in warm-up quality and speed, especially at scale. On this page, you also see a section that summarizes your seed list status, including how many seeds you have, how many senders you've added, when the list was last updated, and when the next rotation is scheduled. This rotation is important, by the way. When you use the seed list, you'll add a sender, download the seed list file, and then upload that list into the email marketing tool you use for sending. The downloaded file is typically an Excel form containing all the C-list email addresses. And here's the key operational detail. The C-list is rotated every month. That means you need to come back here every month, download the updated list, and upload it again. This is done like this for security, and it also ensures the seed network stays protected and actively maintained. To get started, click Add Senders. C-lists won't work until you add at least one sender. You also notice a better area about automating updates, mentioning tools like N8N or Make. This is for teams that want to streamline the rotation process or reduce manual work in workflows connected to platforms like Klaviyo and SendGrid. Now, depending on your plan, some providers tab might be locked. For example, if you click Outlook and you do not have that seed list included, you see a screen that says Unlock the Outlook seed list, and you have a See Plans button. Click See Plans to see all the plans available. Now back on the seed list page, let's return that banner you saw earlier that says Warm Up with Clicks. Warm Up with Clicks is essentially the next evolution of the seed list workflow. Now, with the traditional seed list, you manually download and update the rotated list each month. With Warm Up with Clicks, the goal is to make the seed list experience more automated and internal. In other words, it's designed to reduce the manual rotation work, so Warmy can handle seed updates more seamlessly as long as your subscription is active. Some parts of the workflow are still being finalized, but the direction is clear. It's a more automation-first version of seed list warm-up, with deeper engagement behavior and far less manual maintenance. But warm-up is only one part of deliverability. You also need visibility, list hygiene, and a way to react fast when something goes wrong. That's why in the left menu, we have Insight and Tools. This is where you'll find reports, email validation, Inbox Academy, and the Notifications Hub. Let's go through each tool. First, click Reports. This is where you generate downloadable reports that give you a clear overview of your deliverability health, either by domain or by mailbox. In the center, you see Generate Report. When you generate a report, you can choose what you want to be included, like for example, domain or mailbox health metrics, deliverability and warm-up performance, DNS and authentication status, provider-based stats, and time ranges. Once it's generated, you can download it in XLSX format. Next, let's click Email Validation Tool. This one helps you clean your list before outreach even starts. Because if you send to bad addresses and you bounce, your IP and domain reputation take the hit. At the top of the page, you see the upload file to validate. And on the right, you see your available credits. To use it, click Upload New File. The tool accepts a CSV, where the first column is emails, and the first row should be the word email. After you upload, you start validation, and Warmy checks each address one by one. In the end, you get a clean result you can download and use for safer campaigns. Now let's look at Inbox Academy. This is Warmy's training platform. When you click it, it takes you to a separate learning portal where you can go through structured deliverability lessons, complete quizzes as you go, and build real expertise step by step. When you finish the full course, you gain a certificate. So you're not just running deliverability tools, you actually understand what's happening and why. And finally, we have the Notifications Hub. This is where you control what Warmy alerts you about and where those alerts are sent. And remember the bell icon you see in the top bar across Warmy. That's your quick notification center. It's basically the live feed of what you configured here. Before we wrap up, there's one more area worth knowing: your profile settings. In the bottom left corner, click your name or the person icon to open the profile menu. Inside Profile, there are a few sections that control account level settings. Warm-up Preferences is where you set your account wide. Warm-up Provider Distribution. This is the default behavior that can apply across your account, especially if you manage multiple mailboxes. You see a chart showing how your warm-up activity is distributed across providers, and you can adjust those percentages depending on where your real audience is. And just like we mentioned earlier, mailbox level warm-up preferences override the account-wide defaults. So this page sets the baseline, and mailbox settings can fine-tune it when needed. Next, go to Integrations. This is where you can connect Warmy with other tools. For example, you can see options like HubSpot or Monday, each with a connect button. If your workflow lives inside these platforms, integrations help you keep everything aligned and reduce manual steps. Then there are subscriptions, where you can view your active plans. you also find API keys, which is where you create and manage keys for secure API access. If you're connecting Warmy to your internal systems or workflows, this is the section you use. And finally, IPs management is where teams working with dedicated IPs or static IP setups can manage that configuration. If you're on a more advanced sending setup, this is the place to handle IP-related changes inside Warmy. And one more thing you'll notice throughout the platform, Adeline AI, right here at the bottom of the screen. Adeline is your deliverability co-pilot. You can ask a question in plain English, and Adeline will break down what Warmy is seeing. When you click Ask Adeline AI, you get a chat-style window where you can ask everything deliverability related and get a structured explanation, often with helpful references you can click on. It's just perfect when you don't have the time to dig through tabs and you just want to go for the "what does this mean?" and "what should I do next?" answer. But here's a quick note: like any AI assistant, it can make mistakes. So treat it like a smart co-pilot and always clarify critical details when needed. If you ever want help interpreting what Adeline AI showed you, our team is also here to help. So to summarize what impacts deliverability, it's your message, your email list, your domain, and your IP. Warmy helps you cover all of it. Ramming up correctly, validating lists before outreach, tracking performance with reports, learning the rules inside Inbox Academy, and getting alerts fast so you can react before a problem costs your inbox placement. If you need help setting anything up, never hesitate to message our team. We'll always be happy to help and guide you. And thank you. Now let's translate deliverability into replies. See you around and good emailing.